Good evening, folks, and a hearty welcome to our drive-in theater.
Keelan Cole with his third touchdown.
Defender Josh Norman to his backside.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Pulp Fantasy. I'm Scott Rainier. You can find me on Twitter at MunderDifflinFF. And as always, I have my co-host Ariel here with me.
Excuse you, I am Trash Sandwiches, and you can find me on Twitter at Trash Sandwiches. This is Pulp Fantasy, a production of In Between Media. You can find In Between Media on YouTube, on Twitter. Like, subscribe, follow us, support these good people. We're doing great work over here as a team. And before we get started, just something that's been kind of at the forefront of, I know, at least my mind and your mind, and really everybody's mind this last week is the awful situation with Damar Hamlin. It's amazing to see that he's pulled through. It kind of makes you really evaluate your love for this sport and even like what we do, making jokes about this. But it's really great to see him making a good recovery. It's funny watching him tweet. We're recording this on Sunday. It's been funny watching him tweet through the games and having some excitement, showing some love for his teammates.
Yeah, I mean, I echo what Trash says. That moment, that was a tragic moment earlier this week. It hasn't even been a week. And it was really great to see all the love and support pouring out from not just the fantasy football community, the NFL community, but all over the world. And thank God that Damar pulled through and he's recovering and he's conscious and awake. And he's been able to receive all that love from all over the world. I saw some pictures of him doing, FaceTime or whatever with some teammates, just big smile on his face from his hospital bed. So you love to see it, but yeah, it did, it really kind of shook me. I haven't really, it's something I'm going to have to process, that it came that close to seeing something go a lot more tragically. So, but anyway, a lot of love still sending out for a full recovery for Damar Hamlin. He's awake, but he still probably has a road of recovery ahead. So, all the love and prayers from me and Trash and In Between Media sent out to him and his family. All right. So on this show, we've, throughout the season we've kind of tossed the pickle back and forth about how our fantasy teams have done, but fantasy season's over. I've kind of done talking about our fantasy teams. So I wanted to revisit way back right before the season started. Trash and I both gave our dark horse Super Bowl picks. And I am proud to say my dark horse preseason pick was the Philadelphia Eagles. What about you, Trash? I can't quite remember. Who was your dark horse Super Bowl pick?
Yeah, I picked the Broncos.
Yeah, well, a lot of people saw this season going differently for the Broncos. Trash. Anyway, speaking of another team that's in the trash currently, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Los Angeles Rams. Less than a year ago, the Rams were celebrating a Super Bowl victory. They were living the high life, partying, cracking bottles of champagne. Everything was good. And now, fast forward. Here we are at the end of the 2022 NFL season, and for the most part, this entire season for the Rams has been one big car crash.
The formidable stroke of 30 died away as Gatsby and Daisy drove on through the cooling twilight towards death.
street, and I see my love made complete. The thread is ripping, the knot is slipping. Love is blindness.
And, you know, we love doing comps on this show. We're going to do some comparisons between movie, TV, how different teams' seasons have gone, like those Rams. And, you know, I want to talk for a second about the Vikings and Kirk Cousins, Kirk Chains, and how that's all going. And a lot of people say that, you know, they're kind of fraudulent with where they're at. They've had some fluky wins over the season. And, you know, it's been a funny situation, but the one movie that this team and Kirk Cousins in particular makes me think of is Malibu's Most Wanted, a throwback from, I remember watching that in high school. Maybe even middle school. I'm sure I was too young to watch it then. But, you know, this feels like the Vikings to me.
Yeah, that's right, fool! Next time I bust a cap in your punk ass!
Oh, you did it? Hell yeah, he didn't do nothing. He straight up trick.
What's up with this? Huh? If you jacked it, how come you got a receipt?
I stole that too.
Really? Okay, all right.
Okay, fellas, look. I'm really sorry, okay? I don't mean to offend you. You know, I don't mean to front or act like a thug. I'm sorry.
And on to another team situation comparison. I'm going to talk about the San Francisco 49ers, a team I feel a certain way about as a Seahawks fan, but I've worked really hard about being an objective analyst and sports fan. So I'm going to talk positively about the 49ers right now. One thing the 49ers have not had few of this season is quarterback injuries, starting with their young star Trey Lance out for the season. Then backup Jimmy Garoppolo promptly got injured a few weeks later. And now relying on Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy, a replacement level player, and somehow they have survived.
I learned how to get along, and so you're back from outer space. I just walked in to find you here, but that sad look up on your face. I should have changed that stupid lock. I should have made you leave your key. If I hadn't known in just 1 second you'd be back behind me. Go on now, go. Walk out the door. Just turn around now, 'cause you're not welcome anymore. You remember this here? Don't be the one who tried to hurt me with your back. You think I'll grumble? Hey, think I'll lay down and die? No, not I. Boy, I will survive. Come on. As long as I know how to love, I know how to stay alive. And I got all my life to live, and I got all my love to give, and I'll survive. I will survive. Hey, hey. Come on, boy. And I've been
And another team that has had their playoff hopes survive are the Jaguars. And, you know, to me, if I was to use some words to describe this team and their fearless quarterback leader, Trevor Lawrence, it would be young, scrappy, and hungry. And they are not throwing away their shot.
I'm just like my country, I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. Someone take a shot.
Houston Texans. You know them, you might love them, you might not. Anyway, for much of this season, have been staring down the number 1 overall pick in the 2023 NFL draft. And coming into week 18, had it all locked up. All they needed to do in week 18 was not beat the Indianapolis Colts.
You tossers. You had one job to do.
Now, for our final comparison of the episode, we want to talk about a team that has had a really strong second half of the season. They kind of made a really big comeback, rallied together as a team. And, you know, another really famous team win sequence where an awesome group has banded together to get that win in the end is what I thought of. And, you know, what makes it even more heartwarming is that they defeated the Packers. They have knocked the Packers out of the playoffs. And that's just amazing. Packers always make the playoffs. I'm sick of them. So it's really great to see the Lions getting this win, you know, at the very least playing some spoiler season.
inevitable.
And lastly, providing you with some exclusive live footage like we do on the show that's totally 100% real. We're going to go live to the fan bases for the Broncos, Texans, Bears, Colts, Falcons, Rams, Cardinals, and Raiders.
I just want it to stop.
And as Scott would say, there you have it. Another episode of Pulp Fantasy has come to an end. This has been a great season. Thank you so much, Scott, for bringing me on as co-host. I've had so much fun. I know that we've had a lot of fun backstage brainstorming these ideas. It's been a good time. Hope that all of you have enjoyed coming along this ride with us. So again, in case you forgot in the past few minutes, I'm Trash Sandwiches, and you can find me on Twitter at Trash Sandwiches.
And I'm Scott Rainier. You can find me at Munder Difflin FF. And this, as we said, is a production, comes to you via In Between Media. So the best way to support In Between Media, at least in this context, is like and subscribe. Like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go check out the website. We've got a lot of people writing a lot of different things. We combine a lot of life talk with fantasy sports. It's a unique format. Come check us out. So yeah, this is the season finale of Pulp Fantasy for the 2022 season. We will be, there will be some off-season episodes. That schedule will come out a little bit later. So again, thanks to everybody, like Trash said, who takes the time to watch these. We have a blast making them. Trash, it's been a pleasure having you join me on this show. It's less work for me to have somebody to help out, but also two brains are better than one, especially two goofy, nerdy brains like ours. So we'll leave you with that. So again, much love. Prayers out for the recovery of Damar Hamlin and to his family. We join the massive group of people across this globe who are hoping and wishing for a speedy recovery. And enjoy the off season. That's all we got.
Final words.
Yeah. So, and always remember, laugh at stuff.